The woman gently pulled a golden thread from the baby's temple, but the next moment, the baby suddenly stopped breathing. The wife quickly explained what had happened, but her husband thought she had lost her mind and abandoned her in a house in the mountains. He didn't realize that the baby had actually turned into a vegetative state. Perhaps due to her longing for her child, the wife's eyesight began improving. She could not only see the large tree branches from 100 meters away, but also observe strange bugs. She even pulled glowing golden threads from the bodies of plants. She didn't know what these were, but the soft sensation made her want to weave them into fabric. Yet, despite the threads being right in front of the loom, her mother couldn't see them and thought her daughter was mentally unstable. The next day, Jack happened to pass by and saw the clothes that shouldn't exist in this world. These golden threads were invisible to ordinary people, yet Jack could see them, though he lacked the ability to weave them. While pulling golden threads from adults was harmless, doing so to a baby could be fatal. The woman quickly told Jack everything that had happened. There seemed to be no solution, but she thought that if the baby wore the golden threaded clothes, perhaps it could miraculously come back to life. After descending the mountain, Jack sought out the woman's husband and helped put the golden threaded clothes on the child. Jack warned the man that the clothes should only be removed once the child had grown, but the man couldn't see the clothes and was ready to scold Jack as a fraud. However, the baby suddenly woke up. The father, who had been unable to sleep for nights, finally breathed a sigh of relief and kept Jack's warning in mind, never attempting to take the clothes off his son. But 2 years later, the boy had grown to the size of a 10-year-old. No child in the village could beat him. The boy's innate strength was considered monstrous by the villagers, and even his father often scolded him for it. The boy wanted to tell his father the reason for his fighting, but he couldn't stand being mocked by his classmates for not having a mother. He would often hide under the covers and cry. Over time, the boy began to see the strange bugs and monsters like his mother, and even told his father that there were elves constantly hovering above them. The father thought the boy was also starting to lose his mind like his mother and scolded him to forget everything he had seen before. The boy secretly cried in his room and suddenly saw the glowing clothes. He had always thought they were left by the elves who had been circling above the mountaintop. He wondered if they were searching for these clothes. It wasn't until Jack visited the village again that he saw the once weak baby had grown into a sturdy young man. However, the boy had long forgotten Jack. It was only when Jack mentioned taking back the glowing clothes that the boy reacted. Perhaps the boy had absorbed too much of the power from the golden threads, so Jack decided to help him remove it. The boy, hoping to stop seeing the bugs and monsters, agreed to try. But no matter how much special medicine Jack applied, the golden threads on the boy would not come out. For the first time, the boy treated Jack as a fraud, but still invited him to his home. During their discussion, the father talked about the past. He mentioned that he hoped the boy's mother could personally remove the excess golden threads, as only she could save the boy. However, even at this point, the father still refused to let the child meet his mother. Standing by the door, the boy could no longer hold back. He told his father he wanted to see his mother. It turned out that the father had his reasons. During the year he hadn't forgiven his wife, she had inexplicably become a vegetable. Jack then realized that the woman, who had been constantly touching the golden threads and trying to weave a second golden garment, had been infected by the bugs and turned into this state. But strangely, the boy claimed he recognized his mother. It was the elf who had always been protecting her, secretly blessing him every time it circled around the treetops. Eventually, the woman was brought back home to be cared for, and gradually, she regained human consciousness. The family of 3 finally lived happily ever after.